All right, so this is part 2 of my lunar series talk about whatever you want to call it here. We're just gonna move on. So shortly after Lunar 1 was re-released for the PS1, they re-released Lunar 2 Eternal Blue for the PS1. This game is thick, man. It came with so much stuff, you know, so awesome. No, like I said, no company does better than this. Atlas, you know, nowadays they do alright, but not to this degree, man. Not to this degree at all. So this came with another art book, which something to note about this is the blue page edges, which is really a cool feature, you know. Working designs, like I said, every inch that they had to work with, they did something creative. It also has, you know, a bookmark. I have 2 of these because I had this game twice, but I somehow hanged on to the book. Now it came on in a 4-disc case here, and it came with the following discs. Came with disc 1, which is the game. It's a 3-disc game. Came with and as you can see, you can appreciate the artwork just like the other ones. Came with this one. That's disc 2. That's disc 3, and then it came with the making of Lunar 2. Not only did it come with all that, but it came with this right here, which is really cool. I never seen anything like this before. Came in this case right here, which has this map in it, which also has a back artwork. So like I said, they used up every inch that they had. And it also came with these pop-up toys, pop-up figures, which all have Working Designs logos, which is awesome. Still sealed. I never opened it. And it came with these instructions, which on the very bottom right there in the black, let me read this to you. It says, "We hope you enjoy these items we've included in this Omaka box. Omaka is the Japanese word for extra or bonus. This box is our thanks to you for your loyal support. Enjoy." So Working Designs was really appreciative of their followers, you know. And that's not all this game actually came with. It actually came with more, surprisingly. It came with the soundtrack case, which came with the soundtrack disc, and a demo CD, which is tied in with Vanguard Bandits, which is another game that they released. So that's everything I got that's Working Designs, Lunar related. Not just Working Designs, because the Game Boy Advance game is made by Ubisoft, I think. But like I said, I just wanted to include that in here. So you know, I do have a good amount of Lunar stuff here. Now, the whole reason I'm making this video for you guys is because, like I said, they're re-releasing the Lunar the Silver Star, which is the first Lunar, my favorite Lunar, for the PSP. Now it's going to come out for the PSP Go as a downloadable content for, I'm assuming, $30, and it's coming out for the PSP regular in two different options. You can either get the regular, you know, the regular game, which comes with obviously the game, the manual, and the case. That'll be $29.99. Or you can get the limited edition, which comes with a lot of good pack-ins, similar to what Working Designs would have done if they were still around, which they're not. Which brings me to who's making this game. This game is being published by Xseed. Now, I'm not a fan of Xseed, so I didn't have big expectations going into this game. I had it reserved for months already, just because I couldn't wait to get it, just because I want to add it to my Lunar collection. But I wasn't getting my hopes up. What else was I gonna say? But it is coming for the PSP. The date, that's what I wanted to tell you. The date it's coming out is March 2nd, so it's a little under a month away. You can reserve the limited edition at GameStop, or if you have a local spot that you like to support, maybe they can get it for you. It's not GameStop exclusive. You can probably find it online. Now the limited edition is coming with these things called bromides. If anyone's familiar with the Lunar series, there's these digital cards in the game you can get of your characters called bromides. I remember collecting them in the game, so it's really cool. I'm actually going to get the real bromide, like cards, that were in the game of the characters. So that's going to be really cool. I think it comes with something else, but don't quote me because I'm not sure. Now the limited edition is $39.99 and the regular game is $29.99. Now I want to talk about the differences between the original Lunar, because it's a remake. You know, going into this I didn't know much about it. All I heard was enhanced graphics and the original Lunar story. That's all I knew. So I knew that they were going to stay close to the roots of the game as far as the story goes, but I also knew it was going to be enhanced graphics. Now, is enhanced graphics good in such a classic turn-based RPG? Yes, no. You know, it sort of depends. You know, I really love the old classic feel to this game. You know, the way they designed the characters, and it was just all so classic. You know, it was great. And the PSP version lacks that classic feel. It's more like a next generation RPG style. So, you know, I'm sure a lot of people are going to love that, but not really me. You know, I really like the classic. I wish they just remade the PS1 or the Sega Saturn version, Sega CD version for the PSP. You know, just a re-release instead of a remake. But, you know, it's made by Xseed, so they did their own thing. And, you know, I respect that. So let's talk about some of the differences for those who have played the first one, the Sega CD or the PS1 version compared to the PSP version by Xseed. Some of the differences are the following. As soon as I turned it on, as soon as I heard the opening song, I realized that it was like almost exactly like the originals as far as the soundtrack goes, but sort of digitally remastered. So I really did like the soundtrack in the new PSP version. So that's a plus. The soundtrack is great, the music is great, and all that stuff is cool. Now, talking about audio, the one thing that I heard that I noticed right from the bat as well that really sucks, in my opinion, is the voiceovers. The voiceovers in the PSP version by Xseed are horrible. For example, Nal, the little dragon from the Sega CD and the PS1 version, his voice is almost exact. And not only that, but it plays of the voice of sort of like a young girly dragon, even though it's a boy dragon, that's sort of just a baby, you know. And in this version, the dragon talks all grown up right from the beginning, and it's just like, why did they do that? You know, they spent so much time on the soundtrack, obviously, but then when it came to the voiceovers, they slacked. And not only that, but all the characters' voices are nowhere near close to the originals, like Alex and Nal and Luna. None of them sound like the originals, and for someone like me who remembers the originals so well, you know, it's such a bummer for that. I'm gonna lose you, but some of the other differences I remember from the demo compared to the original is the world map. When you go to the world map, you know, in the originals you can walk. It's like free roaming. You know, you could walk from one cave to the other, or from one town to the other. In this demo version, it's on rails. So, you know, you just point and click to the next location, and you're there. There's no traveling on the world map like manually. It's very linear. It's a very linear game. It makes it feel linear because of that reason. You know, the world map music on the originals was so classic. I remember that world map music like it was yesterday. And, you know, there's no world map music. There's world map music, but it's just not the same. And, you know, you're not traveling, you know, from point A to point B. You're just getting put there. And, you know, even though that's a small difference, it's major to me. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is the enhanced graphics. Like, the towns in the originals are from, you know, like a top-down point of view. So, you know, you kind of get everything from one angle. In this one, you sort of have it on on a 90-degree angle, and you're looking in on the town. The graphics are all hand-drawn, which are cool and more enhanced. So that's also another difference. Overall, though, for someone who hasn't really ever played the Lunar series, the story is on point. So you're still going to get the same effect, the same you know, the same feel and the same effect that you would have from the originals. I definitely recommend the originals over the PSP version, but if that's the only way you can play this game, I definitely suggest it. For the hardcore Lunar fans like me, I would still suggest this game, but don't go into it with high hopes. You know, it's made by Xseed. I can't remember a game that they made that's even worthy of speaking of, but they did a good job on keeping the storyline true to its roots, and they kind of branched off onto their own style for other things. The fighting layout isn't exactly the same, but it's still enjoyable, so, you know, just keep that in mind as well. This game comes out next month, in the beginning, March 2nd. I suggest you get it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed my video.